He's undersized. He's trouble.
Well, good afternoon.
He's untrainable. Stop that!
From Disney Plus comes the true life adventure Togo, the true story about a sled dog who ran the serum run in the early 1920s. And joining me right now are the stars of Togo, Willem Dafoe and Julianne Nicholson. Good morning.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
How are you?
I'm doing great, guys, but hey, right off the bat, the cardinal rule, you're never supposed to work with children or animals.
It's okay. It's okay. I enjoyed it, actually. Now I have a new relationship with dogs.
Now, one thing I kept thinking about while watching Togo was these characters led a really miserable existence. It wasn't easy living back then in Alaska.
It's
Yeah,
true.
there was, there's very little comfort in Alaska in 1913 and 1925 in their lives. They're sort of isolated. The running of their home falls squarely on their shoulders, and for much of the year, Leonard is away, so I play Constance Seppala, his wife, and it's up to her to keep the dogs that are there fed and taken care of, and chop wood and fix things that go wrong in the house, and it's definitely a brutal and beautiful way of life.
And Willem, your character, he's determined, he's a hero, and this is very different from most of the roles you ever take. Tell me about what attracted you to this character.
Well, it had a beautiful story, and I knew there were going to be these extensive action sequences in beautiful landscape. We were going to shoot in the Canadian Rockies in the middle of the winter. There were so many elements that appealed to me. I knew I would be working with these animals, which is a whole new way of thinking, a whole new way of working. I would have to learn how to be a musher, which from the outside looks quite simple, but it's quite complex because it really involves getting to know the dogs very well, being sensitive to what they need, and also negotiating all the things that nature throws at you. So it would be something where I would definitely have an adventure that I didn't know from my life, and I'd be able to apply that to the story that we're telling.
Now, I know the story of Balto, but I've never heard the story of Togo.
Well, let me give you just a little bit of the math. Balto went 53 miles, Togo went 260 through an incredible storm. So that's really the story, that Togo did the lion's share of the relay with Leonard Seppala. And then much of the movie is done in flashbacks alongside this journey to kind of give some idea of how Togo became Togo, and how the relationship between Seppala, his wife, and this lead dog developed.
And Julianne, you could really feel the love between these characters and her devotion to her husband.
I know, I really love this relationship. I've been a fan of Willem's for so long, so to get to work with him, was very, very exciting, and it's sort of delivered on every level and more. And but I also loved in the script, this feels like a real partnership. One of them can't, he can't do it by himself. He's a musher anyway, and away on deliveries for weeks, months at a time, and she needs to keep the place running when he's gone. So it feels like there's a real respect and love and humor between them, and I thought we were able to capture that, and I love their relationship.
And also Seppala's relationship to Togo could not have happened without his wife. His wife really made him aware of certain things that he couldn't see because of his pragmatism. It's a beautiful character because she's smarter than he is and teaches him a lot. And really the heart of the movie very much hangs on her too. And even as we're doing the voyage, even though she's not there, her presence is with us.
Now, Willem, tell me, what was CGI and what was the great outdoors? Because it looked like you were battling the elements throughout the whole film.
Very little. Very little. This is one of the really beautiful things about the movie, and I think you feel it. A minimum of CGI. There's some action sequences that, of course, in order to make them safe, there's some CGI, but for the most part, all the landscape stuff and all the action stuff is done practically. And for me, that was one of the pleasures, because that's a way of having done some of the things that we're talking about. So it's an integral part to the experience that you're having. So when you have the dramatic scenes, you have some authority to pretend those things, because you're doing what the character is doing. It's not done in a lab someplace in Los Angeles. And I think also the audience feels that.
Well, guys, congratulations on Togo, incredible true life adventure. And Willem, you've had a great year with The Lighthouse and Motherless Brooklyn. I will see you at the Critics' Choice Awards next month.
All right. Great. Thank you so much. See you.
Thank you.
I always thought he lived for the sled, when all along, what he lived for was me. I got Togo!
You can catch Togo streaming on Disney+, and for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard here at Mount Charleston, about 20 miles outside of Las Vegas. I'll see you next time.